The differences between a narcissist, a sociopath, and a psychopath can be very subtle, yet they are dangerous. Let's look at hypothetically what those differences can look like in a life situation. Let's pretend that the narcissist and a target are walking along some railroad tracks. The target unfortunately trips and falls and gets run over by the train. What does the narcissist do? The narcissist unceasingly criticizes the target for falling and then scolds them and says that they ruined their day. Okay, so what happens when the sociopath is walking along with the target? The sociopath pushes the target in front of the train, watches the train run over the target, and then criticizes the target again for getting in the way of the train, yet is laughing and taking pleasure in what the sociopath sees. And then finally, a psychopath, same thing, pushes the target in front of the train, watches the train run over the target, then goes to make sure the target is injured or dead and shoots them just in case one or the other has not happened. Again, those are hypothetical, but I wanted to show you the subtle differences in those. So let's look at what each of these looks like on their own. So we talk a lot about narcissism on this channel and coming out of the dark and seeing what narcissism looks like. So here's a refresher. And by the way, if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. So the narcissist, it is a cluster B personality disorder. It is not curable or cannot be treated by medication such as bipolar disorder or anxiety or depression. It's marked by high control and low empathy. Most narcissists are very charming. They have a sense of entitlement. They have that air of grandiosity. They want to be at the top of the societal pecking order. And if a person doesn't fit in with their idea of that, they will likely discard them as a friend, a work colleague, or even a partner. Again, they only associate with others of that same stature. They're interested in being the best of the best. The feelings of others just don't matter, but yet they can show feelings when it's about something going on in their own lives. And they've been known in research to recognize the feelings of others, but they just don't care. Again, they have low to zero empathy. They are very manipulative by using gaslighting, word salad, triangulation, and other manipulative tactics to get the supply they need from their target. Now let's talk about the sociopath. Sociopaths have antisocial disorder or sociopathy. Like narcissists, they want high control and they have low empathy. It's difficult to tell the difference sometimes, but there are a few. Narcissists have entitlement and they want to feel superior. Sociopaths want power and control, no matter who they step on to obtain it. They hurt people with much more intent than the narcissist. Many times for the narcissist, it's just a byproduct of them getting their supply. But the sociopaths will deliberately hurt someone, like in the train story from the beginning, and they take pleasure in the pain of others. They manipulate others with the sole purpose of getting something, not for any emotional connection or love or even a good conversation. Relationships are for them and only them, not for anyone else. They can also be very impulsive. And narcissist research shows can be more prone to substance abuse. I'm guessing probably because of all the uncomfortable feelings that are going on inside. So what's the cause? The cause can be the genetic, being predisposed genetically, which can be triggered by later events. It's like if someone's born with just a seed of empathy, like we almost all of us are, if that's watered by mom and dad or other family members, then that person can have empathy and obviously is not a sociopath, or most likely not. But if that seed isn't watered by family members, friends, whatever it may be, then the chances are, if they're genetically predisposed, they may indeed have sociopathy. Now, there can be changes in brain function as well for many reasons that can cause sociopathy. Other risk factors include the diagnosis of childhood conduct disorder. This is like the kid who hurts animals or breaks pencils in kindergarten and kind of giggles about it. Also, if there's family history of antisocial personality disorder or other personality disorders or mental health disorders. And then finally, research shows many kids who were abused or subject to neglect during childhood can develop sociopathy. Not all, but some. So now let's look at the psychopaths. While the sociopath has somewhat of a moral compass, the psychopath has none. None. No moral compass. No empathy. They take great pleasure in hurting others. They are fearless, and they themselves don't appear to have pain. In fact, about 20 to 30% of the prison population in the United States are considered to be sociopaths. And I found that interesting from the forensic psychologist. That's a figure from them who work with the criminals in our criminal justice system. So there can be, like with the other diseases, some genetic and environmental causes. Research say psychopathy or psychopaths tend to run in families. Some kids are born with higher genetic tendencies to develop and become a psychopath. Others don't. For whatever reason, they are loved or mentored enough or taught enough how to have good behavior and to suppress those desires. It can be environmental as well, such as drug use during pregnancy and like a little or a deficit, I should say, of warm, responsive parenting, like a parent who's just not there when the child is sick or hurting or injured. Maybe the child is left alone a lot. Think of the saddest things you can think of, and that can predispose someone to psychopathy. So you're like, what do? I don't know where my partner or my friend or my family member or my colleague falls. These are just some ideas. But the most important thing to do is get in to see a therapist and learn more. You can also watch videos and do research, but really only a therapist could help you understand exactly what you need to do, because all of these people, the narcissist, the sociopath, and psychopath, can hurt you. They can damage you for life. It's important to figure out what you're dealing with and develop a plan on how to deal with it. As always, I'm pulling for you. You are worthy, you are loved, and you are enough.